the American aviation giant Boeing finds itself in a turbulent storm. The company, once a symbol of American industrial might, is grappling with a multitude of challenges. These range from geopolitical tensions to internal strife, casting a long shadow over its future. This confluence of events has led to a crisis not just for Boeing but for the entire United States aviation industry. Boeing's woes are deeply intertwined with the ongoing trade war between the United States and China. The escalating tensions have resulted in China, a crucial market for Boeing, halting deliveries of its jets. This move has sent shockwaves through the company and the industry, highlighting the vulnerability of American businesses to global political currents. The situation is further complicated by a wave of misinformation circulating online, particularly regarding recent aviation accidents. While none of these incidents involved Boeing aircraft, false claims have flooded social media, unfairly tarnishing the company's reputation and sowing seeds of doubt in the minds of consumers. As Boeing navigates these external pressures, it must also confront its own internal demons. The company has been grappling with a series of cultural and operational issues, raising serious questions about its ability to regain its footing and reclaim its former glory. The trade war between the United States and China has cast a long shadow over Boeing's ambitions. China, a burgeoning economic powerhouse, represents a massive market for commercial aircraft. Boeing for years had successfully tapped into this demand, securing a significant share of the Chinese market. However, the trade war, marked by tit-for-tat tariffs and escalating rhetoric, has brought this to a grinding halt. China's decision to halt deliveries of Boeing jets is a direct consequence of these tensions, a stark reminder of the economic fallout of political disputes. This move has dealt a significant blow to Boeing's bottom line, with the company reporting billions in losses in recent years. The impact extends beyond immediate financial losses. The uncertainty surrounding the trade war has made it challenging for Boeing to plan for the future. With Chinese orders drying up, the company faces a shrinking market share and a surplus of undelivered aircraft. Adding to Boeing's woes is the spread of misinformation, particularly online. This has been particularly evident in the aftermath of a recent air tragedy involving a Bombardier CRJ-700. The incident, which tragically claimed the lives of all those on board, had no connection to Boeing. However, social media platforms were awash with false claims linking the crash to Boeing, often citing unfounded allegations of faulty manufacturing or design flaws. This misinformation, fueled by a climate of distrust and a thirst for sensationalism, spread rapidly, further damaging Boeing's already fragile reputation. The spread of such misinformation has real-world consequences. It undermines public trust in aviation safety, creates unnecessary fear and anxiety among travelers, and unfairly maligns companies like Boeing that are already grappling with genuine challenges. While external factors like the trade war and misinformation have undoubtedly hurt Boeing, the company is also grappling with internal struggles. These internal issues, some argue, are deeply rooted in the company's culture and strategic decisions, particularly the 1996 merger with McDonnell Douglas. This merger, hailed as a landmark event at the time, is now seen by some as a turning point in Boeing's history. Critics argue that the integration of McDonnell Douglas led to a clash of cultures, with the former's emphasis on cost-cutting and speed coming at the expense of Boeing's traditional focus on engineering excellence and safety. This shift in priorities, some argue, created an environment where concerns were silenced and production was prioritized over quality, ultimately contributing to the company's current predicament. The McDonnell-Douglas merger, a fatal embrace. The 1996 merger between Boeing and McDonnell Douglas was a seismic event in the aviation industry. It created an aerospace behemoth, consolidating the American market and positioning Boeing as a global leader. However, this merger, initially hailed as a triumph, is now viewed by some through a more critical lens. Critics argue that the integration of McDonnell Douglas's corporate culture into Boeing's had unforeseen and detrimental consequences. McDonnell Douglas, known for its leaner operations and more aggressive pricing strategies, is believed to have introduced a culture that prioritized cost-cutting and speed over engineering excellence and meticulous safety protocols. This cultural shift, some argue, eroded Boeing's long-standing commitment to quality and safety, creating an environment where concerns were overlooked and production targets took precedence. This, in turn, laid the groundwork for the technical issues and subsequent crises that have plagued the company in recent years. In response to growing criticism and calls for greater accountability, Boeing has implemented various initiatives aimed at promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion within its ranks. These initiatives, while lauded by some as a step in the right direction, have also drawn skepticism. Critics argue that these DEI initiatives, while well-intentioned, are insufficient to address the systemic issues plaguing the company. They contend that focusing solely on diversity metrics without addressing the underlying cultural problems and power imbalances within the organization is akin to putting a band-aid on a broken wing. They argue that true progress requires a fundamental shift in corporate culture, one that prioritizes transparency, accountability, and a genuine commitment to creating a work environment where all employees feel valued, respected, and empowered to raise concerns without fear of retribution. The crisis engulfing Boeing is not an isolated incident. It sends ripples throughout the entire U.S. aviation industry. As a cornerstone of American manufacturing, Boeing's woes have far-reaching consequences, impacting a vast network of suppliers, airlines, and workers across the country. The halting of deliveries to China, a crucial market, has created a ripple effect, forcing suppliers to scale back production and airlines to grapple with fleet uncertainty. This has resulted in job losses, production cuts, and a general sense of unease within the industry. The potential for a wider industry downturn is a growing concern. If Boeing, once a symbol of American industrial prowess, falters, it could have a domino effect, undermining the entire aviation ecosystem and sending shockwaves through the U.S. economy. The crisis at Boeing, once a titan of American industry, is a stark reminder of the fragility of even the most seemingly invincible corporations. It also serves as a cautionary tale about the interconnectedness of the global economy and the potential for geopolitical tensions to have far-reaching economic consequences. Boeing's struggles are not merely a corporate affair. They represent a microcosm of the challenges facing the U.S. economy as a whole. The decline of American manufacturing, the rise of global competition, and the uncertainties of a volatile geopolitical landscape have all converged to create a perfect storm, threatening to capsize one of America's industrial flagships. The potential fallout from Boeing's decline extends far beyond the company itself. It could lead to significant job losses, particularly in manufacturing and related sectors, further exacerbating economic inequality and undermining social stability. It also weakens America's standing as a global leader in aerospace technology and innovation, with potential long-term consequences for the country's economic competitiveness. As Boeing faces this perfect storm of challenges, the question arises, can it weather the storm and emerge stronger on the other side? The answer hinges on the company's ability to address both its internal and external challenges head-on. Internally, this means acknowledging and addressing the cultural issues that have plagued the company, fostering a culture of transparency and accountability, and reaffirming its commitment to engineering excellence and safety. It also requires a thorough reassessment of its production processes, ensuring that quality is never compromised for the sake of speed or cost-cutting. Externally, Boeing must navigate the choppy waters of geopolitical uncertainty and repair its strained relationships with key stakeholders, including the Chinese government. This requires deft diplomacy, a commitment to fair trade practices, and a willingness to find common ground in the face of political differences. The road ahead for Boeing is fraught with challenges. However, by acknowledging its mistakes, learning from its past, and embracing a future defined by integrity, transparency, and a renewed commitment to excellence, Boeing can chart a new course, regaining its footing as a global leader in aviation and ensuring a brighter future for itself and the U.S. economy.